Placements. Just hearing this one word brings a sense of hope, pressure, and expectations for every college student and their families. And through this video, I just want to share what my placement journey felt like, the preparation phase, the interview experience, just for anyone who is currently in the placement season or is going to enter it, to get a feel of what it's actually like to be in the placement season at BITS Pilani. Now, to be honest, the placement preparation begins as soon as you step into the college, because placements is just accumulation of all your experiences throughout your 4 or 5 years of college. And to give you my background, I am someone who comes with not a very stellar CGPA. I was in my 6.5s when entering into my 4th year. No stellar points on my resume. I had tried multiple things in football, YouTube videos which weren't very consistent, filmmaking club as a commitment, and NSS BITS Pilani, where I was the executive committee member for Design and Development Society. Now, any of these points weren't an actual spike in my resume. And entering into my 4th year, I didn't have any proper internship which would justify my interest. I wasn't very good at coding either, and I had tried it but quickly realized that it's not made for me. So when in my 4th year during the summer internship season, all the SI companies which come are majorly for tech, so I didn't stand a chance there. That was a tough phase, and knowing that in one semester I will be a part of the placement season in my final year, that was a bit concerning. And at the end of my first semester of my 4th year, I tried to get an off-campus internship, and I did get one in a startup of 8 to 10 members in the growth marketing role. And as my 4th year, second semester began, I was with the objective that I need to do good in this internship and also bring up my CGPA to near 7, so that I could at least make the cutoff of many product consulting or analytics companies which I was then targeting. Cut to October 2024, our placement season officially began, and some of the first product or consulting companies were BCG or Flipkart APM, and I didn't even make it to the shortlist of any of those. BCG, not even the resume shortlist. Flipkart APM program had a deck shortlisting round where I was preparing my first ever deck for any product company, and to my no surprises, right now the deck wasn't selected because I really didn't know how to prepare, what all to include, how to structure it. So the initial few companies I didn't do very well, didn't make to the shortlist, and now it was time to head back to our campus in December 2024 for our day 0 on December 30th. Navi and Rippling were the two companies where they had opened up opportunities, massive CTCs, big CTCs, but it was mostly for tech roles, Rippling all HD roles, and Navi were for multiple roles, majorly for tech as well, but finance and risk analyst, product and analytics were there. But again, in their online assessment, I couldn't even clear that and didn't get a chance to interview. Day 0 passed, day 1 came. Again, all the major companies offered almost tech roles itself. The few companies like Movin Singh, I couldn't even clear their initial rounds, and some of them had CGPA cutoffs of 7+ or 8+. No chance at all again. Those 15 days from December 30th till January 15th were pretty tough. Like no sort of hope, and every day seeing rejections, emails about not being shortlisted, Slack announcements of companies opening and going. It's a tough phase, and a phase which I feel every student in the placement season goes through. Now, around January 10th, a random Slack announcement had come about a company called Vyapar, and it was a product role with a good compensation. And Vyapar again had their first round as a deck preparation round. Now, having some experience through my Flipkart APM deck, and I already had some design experience through my internship, I made sure that I put all my learnings in this deck, and I searched about Vyapar, what do they do. I picked up a problem statement which would be creative enough to gain their attention, and I did make a deck in a structured, well-designed format, and it got shortlisted. I got a message on January 15th that my deck has been shortlisted and my interview is tomorrow, January 16th. One day is all we had for the preparation. RCA, guesstimates, product design, go-to-market strategy, everything to be revised in one day. The day finally arrived, January 16th. That was my first day of wearing a suit In the morning, the first time I headed to the placement unit office to give interviews, I had 20 students along with me who were shortlisted for the interviews. It was a decent enough number and a good competition. Everyone going into the interview rounds, which were online, but giving it through the placement unit office. Everyone going in, coming out happy, mostly someone ambiguous. I entered the interview at around 12, where it was my interview was scheduled. And to my surprise, the interview was very, very warm. He welcomed me with a smile and asked me about an introduction. He was very interactive. I took it as a coffee table conversation as well. I told them about my YouTube channel, my internship. They were interested to know more about my YouTube channel. It excited them. And my internship experience, whether I was able to justify all my experiences there. It went well. I was asked an RCA question about the web. How would you figure out why the website traffic is down for a particular website? And a product design question was asked about design an app for creators. Now this was my genre. I shared an answer which I think was good, and at the end of the interview I had a gut feeling that I did well. But from my interview end till the announcement of the next round, there was a very long phase, I think around 2 to 3 hours, and that is something which is very, very concerning. I wasn't sure, will I make it to the next round, will I not, the uncertainty. But around 3:30 I got a WhatsApp message from the placement unit members that I have my round 2 scheduled now. This was with the director of product at Vyapar. I entered into the interview. I don't know, this didn't feel like such a warm welcome in the interview. The initial interview might have been too good, but in the next one I didn't know, I wasn't at my best. I somehow had my gut feeling that I didn't do quite well. The conversation didn't flow very well. The interview also didn't seem very much interested into my introduction. Again, I told them about what I have done in my college life, and they were interested to know about my football experience. What I was asked is how should UEFA plan to venture into India, and how can they increase their following of football in India. I gave an answer that change the European timings to India based, bring in more legends here, organize more competitions here. And at the end of the interview, again, I wasn't quite sure, and this time I had the gut feeling that okay, I might not have done very well. Anyways, I went out with an uncertainty, not knowing what would happen now. I got a message around 5 that I have been selected, and in that moment all the pressure, hopes, expectations turned into relief and a feeling of giving back to what we had given to this college for the 4 or 5 years of college life. Called up my parents, called up my friends, and that was it. That was my placement journey. And now that I have gone through that placement season, I can say one thing, that placements aren't actually all about efforts. It's not always linear, that this much effort will lead to this much results. What I realize now is that placements is a mix of timing, luck, and how you are able to handle rejections. And if you're someone who is entering or currently in the placement season, believe me, all your efforts, all your sacrifices will lead up to something good. One opportunity is all that it takes. Keep applying, keep growing, and keep gaining those experiences from those rejections. And on the other side of that mountain will be something good. That's the faith which one needs to keep in this challenging phase of placements. And I hope I was able to give a perspective and help you somewhat in your placement preparation. If you found this helpful, I have a complete 1-hour video of me sharing the resources, the tips and tricks, the interview experience in more detail in a video on my channel, and you can check that out. I will link that in the description below. I wish you with the very best, and sayonara.